Thank you so much. Okay, is anyone's brain getting a little close to full? Pull out your Spanish sage. We know what to do, right? Okay, bear with me for a few because I've got some really exciting stuff to share with you. Are you all fired up about MetaPWR? We are too. If you can't tell, we are so, this is a scientist's excited face. You just heard the incredible MetaPWR ingredient story from Alex and some of the science behind this formulation. So it is now my great pleasure to share with you some of the clinical research we've done on MetaPWR. Right? In fact, this is the most researched product line in doTERRA. And what I have to share with you is just the beginning. So let's start with that new, amazing MetaPWR Essential Oil Blend. Alex shared the powerful oils that are in that blend, and he said something amazing happens when we put them together at the right ratios. And you said you wanted to know what that is, right? Right? Yes? Now, doTERRA's R&D processes have always been robust, but this upgraded blend was developed with a new process that shows complementary effects on a cellular level, which really can be difficult to demonstrate. This allowed us to find the optimal ratios for the blend. It's another example of how doTERRA is creating the very best products in the world. Now, to understand the study, let's chat briefly about fat and adipogenesis. We may love fat, hate it, fear it, but do we understand it? In simple terms, adipogenesis is the creation and growth of new fat cells, or adipocytes. Many of our fat cells are present in the body by the time we leave our teenage years. So why does our weight change over time? Fat cells are awesome at storing fat if we take in excess energy that our bodies don't need immediately. That idea of the freezer that Alex talked about. These fat cells have an enormous capacity to grow. The cells can be small and flat, or huge and round, or anywhere in between. Now, to be clear, we need some fat in our bodies as cushioning for our organs, structural support, insulation, and moderate energy storage. Fat is not our enemy, right? Okay. But when our fat metabolism starts to lose efficiency, which can happen as we age, or we're sending the wrong messages to our fat cells through lifestyle choices, these cells may end up storing more energy than they should. So in developing MetaPWR, we wanted to put several essential oil blends to the test. Each had various levels of each oil in the blend, slightly different ratios and formulas. We really were looking for the most active blend down there on the cellular level. Our research question was simple. Could we identify a blend that told the fat cells to stop accumulating fat droplets and remain lean? Now, we're going to show you a picture where you're looking at a small layer of cells in a petri dish, okay? What you're seeing there is cells that are stained with different stains that are showing parts of the cell. Red stain is going to stick to the fat droplets. So look there at day 0, the beginning of the study. You'll see that those cells are small and flat, and you don't see a lot of red dye. Now look at the other picture on day 14. Those cells are full of fat droplets because we purposely sent them signals that said, store fat, store fat. These are nice and mature and plump fat cells, stained very red. Okay, so those are the two extremes. Now let's look at some actual results for this study. We're going to show you 3 blends we looked at, okay? This first blend in the trial, you can see on the very far side of the graph the control cells. Lots of red, lots of thick cells there in that plate. Then we started adding some of our essential oil blend. And you can see we start to have a little bit less staining as it goes along. We stopped some of the fat droplets from being stored. Now some higher doses, we're getting more and more oil. At higher doses, you see less and less of that fat being stored. This is what we call a dose response. And it means that this blend worked, and our test was working too. So we were excited to see the results of this trial blend, right? Okay, so for comparison, we tried another blend. Now we thought, if that first blend worked well, let's add a few more oils. Maybe we can supercharge it. So we did. Now, you'll be able to see in this second trial blend a slight decrease in fat accumulation, but it did have less effect. We're going to roll forward the next slide and take a look at those pictures. It's coming. Wait for it. There it is. Okay. Now you see again a dose-dependent response. But look at that very highest dose, where in our first blend, there was almost no red, and in this blend, we still see quite a bit. So it was interesting for us as researchers to see just how much the chemistry and the ratio of these oil blends was affecting the fat cells down at this level. Okay, so we're going to show you the results of one more blend, right, as we go through this story. Now, what do you think this one represents? That was our reaction too. This is MetaPWR. We have almost completely arrested the fat accumulation. The cells themselves are healthy. Look at those beautiful cells. But they're not storing fat. Now let's look at those trial blends side by side in a graph. You'll be able to see that at different doses, trial blend 1 has significant effects, right? It works great. That's the one in the red. Guess what? This was slim and sassy. Yeah, it worked. It worked great. We were excited to see it. Compare that to trial blend 2, which we thought would work better because it had more oils in it. It didn't. And look at trial blend 3, MetaPWR. You can see what an astounding effect it had on the fat deposition. You have this now in your convention kit. This blend is amazing, developed systematically and optimized for the maximum possible effect. As our essential oil knowledge grows and our technology and research capabilities increase, we use these to constantly improve our products. When we know better, we do better. MetaPWR Essential Oil Blend is proof that doTERRA will always do this. So, let's be real. Will this cause all your fat cells to instantly shrink or disappear? They're like, yeah. No, sadly no. Like most things in life, it's not magic, it's chemistry. From this preclinical research in human fat cells, we have compelling evidence to show that the fat cells are receiving healthier signals and storing less energy as fat droplets. So this is great support for healthy lifestyle choices like you guys already are doing and can share with others. Can we all get behind that? All right, let's talk for a minute about MetaPWR Advantage. Alex shared an all-star lineup of incredible ingredients and how MetaPWR Advantage is formulated to support health span by giving our cells the tools they need for optimal functioning. Now, specifically, Alex talked about the NMN ingredient that is designed to help optimize levels of critical NAD+ molecule. But what is this alphabet soup of NMN, NAD+? How do they tie into metabolic support delivered by MetaPWR? Okay, I want you to picture a car engine just for a minute. And Becca talked about this a little bit yesterday too. It's a great analogy. You know that an engine burns gasoline to create energy that moves the car forward, right? And out the other end comes exhaust. This is very much like our most basic metabolic process. We burn glucose and other fuels to create energy that keeps us alive. And out the other side comes the exhaust of something called free radicals. Anyone heard of that? Okay, a few of you. These are super reactive molecules that will damage our DNA and protein unless they're neutralized. Now, our bodies have a great system for taking care of that free radical exhaust through a little thing called antioxidants. Anybody heard of that? Okay, we know what antioxidants are. But it turns out these systems can be taxed and overwhelmed if we're not supporting them. When that happens, negative downstream effects pop up over time, especially as we age. Now, NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, is one of the most abundant molecules in the human body for very good reason. It is a critical player in more than 500 different enzymatic reactions and helps regulate most of the major biological processes in our body. It's huge. This molecule is, or should be, everywhere inside us. Now, while your body naturally produces NAD+, production begins dropping dramatically in adulthood and continues as we age. Without sufficient NAD+ levels, your cells struggle to generate the energy they need to survive and carry out their functions. Now, NMN, or nicotinamide mononucleotide, is a precursor to the production of NAD+. You heard from Alex that this and other precursors are excellent building blocks for our bodies to have, so we can build NAD and keep our cells functioning optimally. How lucky are we that we have a unique natural source of NMN and other precursors that should help support our healthy NAD levels. So for us as researchers, our question was simple. Can NAD levels be positively influenced through supplementation with MetaPWR Advantage? Let me show you the first human clinical research collected on MetaPWR Advantage and share why we're excited about it. Now, like the Adipogenesis research for MetaPWR Blend, this human clinical study falls into that potency pillar that Dr. Hill talked about. It's a very important part of our research pathway. In this study, a pilot, small-scale pilot study, 4 participants took different doses. At the beginning of the study, we took samples to determine baseline levels of NAD, then tracked these levels over 2 weeks. Okay, small scale, short term, but we wanted to see what we were looking at here. And what did we find? After only 1 week of taking the recommended dose of MetaPWR Advantage, that 1 little sachet per day, we saw a 20% increase in NAD levels. Thank you. Someone's like, yes, that's what we were thinking too. Now that's a significant improvement in a very short period of time. That's huge. After just 2 weeks, we saw the levels continuing to slowly rise, finishing at more than 23% of baseline levels. And guess what? We are excited to continue now into a larger, longer efficacy trial. Well, we'll look at these effects and others in a broader population and generate some great data and publications. And some of you may even want to join with us in this study. Come see my team in the showcase. We'll get you hooked up. So what do these results mean for you? Our initial human clinical results confirm that MetaPWR Advantage has a positive effect on one of our body's most important cofactor molecules, NAD. This molecule is critical for its role in helping us maintain oxidative stress and optimizing our cellular processes. Remember, this is just one of the benefits we expect to see with MetaPWR Advantage. We're excited to share more as our research progresses. As a part of the MetaPWR system of products, MetaPWR Advantage is already proving to be an excellent contributor to supporting an optimized health span and healthy lifestyle choices. Now, last but not least, Alex started this innovation story with MetaPWR Assist, and I'm going to bookend for the same reason, because this is a powerhouse product. Alex explained the delicate dance happening every moment between insulin and glucose rising and falling. You maybe asked yourself, is my glucose on that roller coaster ride? Our diet, lifestyle, and genetics all play a role in determining how steeply our blood sugars spike and dip with the glucose and insulin in our systems. Now, if you remember from Alex's talk, one very important step in glucose metabolism is when our enzymes chop up the carbohydrates we eat into glucose. This is what allows them to be easily absorbed in the bloodstream, causing those blood sugar spikes. But what if we could tell those enzymes to ignore some of the carbohydrates we eat? Could that cause gentler rises and falls of our blood sugar? That was our research question. Now recall that the mulberry leaf ingredient in MetaPWR Assist helps to slow the breakdown of carbohydrates. The amino sugars in the mulberry leaf block those enzymes that break down our carbohydrates, which should slow the rise in blood sugar after we eat. So what did we find? Do you want to know? Okay, so I'm going to give you, because of time, I got to give you the Cliff Notes version of our 2 human clinical trials we ran with MetaPWR Assist. Okay, there's a lot more to share, so we're going to give you all the rest of the details in the doTERRA talk. Make sure to come hear it. Dr. O and I are going to go all out today, so come back. But here's your headline for these human clinical trials. MetaPWR Assist was brilliant. In both studies, which involved participants with blood sugar levels in the normal range, we found significantly flattened peaks after eating and smoother glucose levels throughout the day. Now, what you're seeing here is an example of the actual data we collected during these studies from continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, worn by our participants. Check out the change in glucose roller coaster throughout the day. In this example, the top graph shows when a participant was taking placebo, and the bottom graph shows the change with MetaPWR Assist. See how much gentler those peaks and valleys become? Now, despite the small sample sizes in these studies, we found statistical significance in both trials under different conditions. This gives us tremendous confidence that MetaPWR works. For all the science nerds out there who want some p-values, oh, just come to the doTERRA talk. You're going to love it. Now, what do these results mean for you? We've now seen in 2 well-designed human clinical trials that MetaPWR Assist can help keep blood glucose levels in a healthy range after eating, flattening spikes and dips that sometimes occur from consuming carbohydrates, and smoothing those glucose levels throughout the day. Essentially, fast carbohydrates that spike blood sugars act more like slow carbohydrates that provide sustained energy. Those are things most of us can really use, right? Me included. Okay, let me tie all this together for you and give you some take-home ideas. Number 1, on the elegant subway map of metabolism that Dr. O described, MetaPWR is affecting multiple pathways to help optimize our glucose and energy management. MetaPWR truly is a simple solution to this very complex question. Number 2, this is the cutting-edge, groundbreaking science that has always set doTERRA apart in our industry. There is so much to share, and we're so excited for you to start to understand this with us and understand why this is so exciting. Finally, MetaPWR is more powerful when supporting healthy lifestyle choices. As we've said before, MetaPWR is designed as a system to work together with the other amazing doTERRA products that support that lifestyle. These products meet you where you are. They become your partner on a journey of health. Now, on that note, do you want to know how you and those you love can use the MetaPWR system to take control of your health